My name is Christine Anna, and these are my defining moments. I've pretty much been a Christian my entire life. I always felt like my parents really instilled the fear of God within me, and that's probably been one of the things that have kept me on the straight and narrow. It is just not wanting to displease God and not wanting to be disobedient or not wanting to jeopardize any part of my relationship with Him. Probably one of the biggest defining moments that I have is when I was 16, actually more when I was 15, I decided not to date until after high school. And at the time, the youth group was really big on dating someone that you were actually going to marry and just really obviously purity and keeping yourself for that one person. I was talking to someone, his name is Lawrence, and we were going to, I wasn't allowed to date until 16 anyways, but we were going to start dating at 16, and I had been talking to him since I was 14. And he's actually the one that first felt like he wasn't supposed to date. And so at the time I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you don't want to date me at 16? But I really prayed about it, and I felt like God told me I needed to wait also. So when we made that decision, it totally changed our relationship, because here we were thinking, oh, okay, we're almost there, we're almost 16, we're going to be able to date, and but it became more of a prolonged process, and it eventually got to the point where we were no longer talking. At the time, I was devastated. I just felt like the one person that I had totally fallen in love with. And I know that it's hard to say that you're in love with someone when you're in high school. I was told often, I actually got told one time, puppy love is real to puppies. But I couldn't shake it. I knew I was absolutely in love with him. But I knew that I was more in love with God, and I knew that I wanted to have more of a relationship with God. And so that's why we even made that decision. After high school, I decided to go into Master's Commission. And that was a school of ministry that we had. And in the first year of the school of ministry, you're not allowed to date. So I wasn't allowed to date anyways. And that's actually where I got a lot of my healing. I remember doing a human video. And the human video was to a Celine Dion song. And it was called I Surrender. I remember doing this video and just me telling God, I surrender this because I feel like I can't hold on to it anymore. Because if I try to hold on to it, it's just going to bog me down the rest of my life. And so I went through that year, and I actually got a lot of healing. I tried to move on. Didn't work too well. And then he decided, I went to my second year of Master's Commission, and then Lawrence decided to go into his first year of Master's Commission. So within the first couple weeks, he just apologized for everything, and he's just like, I'm so sorry how I treated you. I don't know what it's going to look like after his first year, because he had his first year he couldn't date. So we ended up waiting until to date, and I was almost 19 by the time we even got to date, officially date. And so from 14 to 19, I'd pretty much been waiting for this guy and holding out for him. And we ended up dating for 3 years. And it was not easy by any means. But and even throughout the time that we were dating, we still constantly tried to put God first, And I think that's a difficult thing as a Christian, being a Christian and trying to be pure in your relationship. It is not easy. I don't care what anyone says. But somehow, by God's grace, we made it to the end. And we actually did get married. And I was still a virgin when I got married. He was still a virgin when we got married. And I think that's one of the things that helped define it. When I was 16, I made that decision, or 15, when I made that decision not to date until after high school. And I think that's one of the reasons, like, why I stayed so pure, because I waited and waited and waited for this one person. Why would I go throw it away on someone else? And why would I cheapen it by having sex before marriage? Even if it had been with him, we had already gone through so much. We could make it to the end. We could hold out and do the right thing. And we had our first daughter together September 23rd, 2009, and then we just had our son August 25th. 2011, and it is possible to totally stay with God throughout your entire high school, throughout junior high, throughout college, whatever you do. It's possible to be true to yourself, and it's possible to be true to your relationship with God.